Never shy of airing his opinions on social media, Irish superstar Conor McGregor has recently caught the attention of a prominent UFC middleweight. After tweeting about another lightweight contender, Beneil Dariush, recently Marvin Vettori, a good friend of Dariush, has fired back at the notorious ahead of the Irishman's return to the octagon later this year. Today, we're discussing McGregor's thoughts on Dariush, plus Vettori firing back, calling him a scumbag, so don't go anywhere. Let's jump straight in. What exactly happened? Stay tuned. As we know, McGregor is no stranger to a controversial comment or two, and after recently labeling lightweight contender Beneil Dariush a nobody, Dariush's friend Marvin Vettori has given his own thoughts on the Irish fighter. Of course, Vettori wasn't going to sit idly by and allow McGregor to trash-talk Dariush, who rarely engages in trash-talk himself, so he took it upon himself to give McGregor a dressing down. Vettori, who has so far won 8 of his 12 UFC fights, responded when McGregor called Dariush the biggest nobody in the company. The Italian called McGregor a before going on to say, "You couldn't last 2 minutes with Beneil, and that's just a fact. You're a scumbag. I hope to see you soon." And he's probably right. Dariush is on a tear at the moment, and McGregor's recent form leaves a lot to be desired, with a solitary win to his name over the past 5 years. That win came against Cowboy Cerrone, who was far past his best, although still a dangerous fighter in his own right. McGregor and Dariush are both recovering from broken legs at the moment, but the Notorious is a little further ahead in his recovery, so could possibly return to action sometime this summer or autumn. Dariush, who was slated to take on Islam Makhachev in February, might not be ready until the end of the year, and caught McGregor's wrath after criticizing lightweight king Charles Oliveira for suggesting he might wait for the Irish star. Next up, we're looking ahead to Vettori's next fight. Marvin Vettori and former middleweight champ Robert Whittaker were supposed to do battle recently, but Whittaker had to pull out due to an injury. That fight has now been rebooked for September 3rd in Paris, and Whittaker will be hoping he can put his recent title disappointment behind him after being beaten again by Israel Adesanya. And Whittaker, unsurprisingly, believes he holds the advantage over the Italian, suggesting he's better all over the octagon. The Kiwi holds a sound record of 14-4 so far in his UFC career, and although he has branded Vettori as super tough, believes he knows how to beat Marvin, who's also coming off a loss. While he's only lost to one dude, he's a very tough guy, very well-rounded, a lot of forward pressure, tough as nails, willing to go out on his shield. He also acknowledged that combination of characteristics makes Vettori dangerous, so he isn't taking the challenge lightly, but said that he simply believes he is better everywhere. Whittaker said he hopes to be able to keep Marvin where he wants him, then take the fight in the direction he wants it to go in. And he's also said he hopes to engineer another title shot if and when he gets past Vettori, saying, "First things first, I want to get a win over Vettori. I think that puts me in a good spot." Who do you have on this one? Whittaker has also had his say on the upcoming middleweight title fight. Stay tuned to hear his thoughts. As we all know, Jared Cannonier is set to take on Israel Adesanya for the Nigerian Kiwi's crown once UFC 276 rolls around next month, and Bobby Knuckles has weighed in on who he thinks might have the edge come fight night. While acknowledging that Cannonier is a dangerous fighter, he suggested that Stylebender has an incredible understanding of space and distance. The Aussie outlined how the Killa Gorilla needs to try and bring a superstar game plan to upset Adesanya, saying, "I think it's a tricky fight to think about. Cannonier can do it, but I think Israel's gonna put him through his paces. He's great at controlling the distance and the space and using his reach to his best advantage. So Cannonier can definitely do it, but he may have to come in differently than he has been in the last couple of fights. But wait and see." And of course, Adesanya is the champion, so we'll probably be expecting the unexpected, as no middleweight has been able to dethrone him using normal tactics so far. But Jan Blachowicz was able to take him down and control him on the ground in their light heavyweight fight, so this could be one key way for Jared to get the W. The fight will be the 5th time Adesanya has defended his title, and both men come into this one in good form. But Cannonier will have to bring something special if "and new" is to ring around the arena at the end of the fight. Who do you have on this one? Next up, some news of McGregor's potential return date. The Irishman, who's currently out injured after breaking his leg in his 3rd meeting with Dustin Poirier last summer, is repeatedly hoping to get back to action sooner rather than later, but MMA journalist Ariel Helwani has suggested otherwise. The Canadian, who hosts the super popular MMA podcast, The MMA Hour, suggested that we might not see the Notorious until 2023. Helwani said recently, "It doesn't look like he'll be back in 2022. So now, here you have a guy who hasn't fought since July of last year. The last I heard, by the way, is that Conor might come back in February, March, or something like that." While seemingly calling out every fighter on the UFC roster so far this year, fans were hoping that they might see McGregor this summer sometime, and Dana White will want his cash cow back as soon as possible. But McGregor is reportedly now taking doctors' advice on board and doesn't want to rush his return. Helwani suggested that McGregor could easily come back and get hurt again if he returns too early, adding that there isn't and shouldn't be any rush. McGregor has been talking about a potential title fight when he returns, but many real MMA fans have questioned how a man who has won one fight in 5 years could possibly get a title shot after being out for 2 years. Who do you think should welcome McGregor back? McGregor has sent congratulations to Jiří Procházka after the Czech's title win this weekend. Conor McGregor was clearly impressed by what he saw in Saturday night's co-main event light heavyweight title fight between legendary champion Glover Teixeira and Procházka. The Czech, who has seen a meteoric rise in the light heavyweight division since joining the UFC, got past Glover in a 5-round war at UFC 275 this past weekend, which has since been described as an instant classic. The fight was a grueling back and forth before Procházka locked in a rear-naked choke with just under 30 seconds left in the final round, and McGregor, who shares a management company with Procházka, was quick to congratulate his stablemate, sending his huge congrats to the new champ. He said, "Paradigm Sports' newest and the Czech Republic's first UFC world champion, the indomitable samurai, at Jiří_BJP. What a fight, what a performance. Huge congrats at Paradigm Sports." Procházka's rise can partly be attributed to the Czech's obvious skill set, but some have questioned the division and how a fighter in only his 3rd fight in the promotion has managed to fight for and win the title. And the fact that Jon Jones has moved up to heavyweight suggests that Procházka's period of dominance could be a long one. Who do you think poses the greatest threat to the Czech? And finally, another business opportunity for McGregor. As any MMA fan well knows, McGregor owns the successful Dublin pub, the Black Forge Inn, and he has now added another boozer to his portfolio, as well as acquiring the Marble Arch pub not long ago, but has recently purchased another, the Waterside Bar in Howth. The former UFC double champion reportedly paid around $1.7 million for the business and has also invested almost £900,000 in refurbishing the venue. However, the pub has a little bit of a checkered past, having been the target of a petrol bomb attack earlier this year, and McGregor himself is known to have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Dublin pubs after assaulting an elderly punter a couple of years back, which incidentally took place in the aforementioned Marble Arch before the Notorious bought it. He was fined €1,000 for the incident, which took place in April 2019 after the gentleman declined an offer of a drink from McGregor. However, he's obviously doing something right as he continues to top sportspersons' earnings list, banking a reported $180 million in 2021. What do you make of McGregor's acquisition? Let us know below. As always, thanks for dropping in today, and remember to swing by again next time for some more fun and games. And why not do us a solid by liking and sharing today's video, as well as subscribing to our channel so you don't miss out on more great content in the future. Bye, guys.